In this video, we will be inputting data manually into Alteryx. Although we usually get data from external data sources in the form of files, manual entry is often used to input values for variables, parameters, or create small tables. Also, it is always good to know how to manually enter data into our workflow. For the purpose of this example, we are going to input the details of two customers which are present in this file customer data underscore manual entry.xls. So these are the two customers in the second and third row. We are going to enter the details of these two customers manually into Alteryx. So let's open Alteryx now. For customer data, we are going to create a new workflow. Click on this plus icon and it creates a new workflow. Let's save this workflow by going to File and clicking on Save As. Choose the location where you want to save the file. Enter the name. I am naming it Customer Workflow. Click on Save and this workflow is saved. Now let's start by adding the first tool which is used to input text manually. For that, the tool is text input and it is under the in-out category. Click on it, drag and drop it on the workflow window. On the left, you see the configuration window. In this configuration window, you see that there is one small cell. The thing is, you have to create the table that you want to enter inside this tool. To create that table, we first insert the header for this table. Now we have to list down all the fields that our table has. So let's go to Excel. These column names, customer ID, customer name, segment, etc. are the field names. You can type the name of the fields or you can copy paste them also. Now I have selected multiple columns and I have copied them. I'm inserting multiple columns. And I'm pasting the field names. You can see that I can simply copy paste multiple field names once I have added the required number of columns in the table. Now I have copy pasted the data here. You can see that we do not need to input each and every single value. We can copy paste the entire data at one go. But if you want, you can add row manually and input data into that row by typing into that row. Now the table is created. This is the data that is going to enter inside the workflow through this text input tool. Now, since our workflow is going to have several tools, it may get difficult for us to identify which tool is doing what. For clarity, it makes sense that we name our tools. So on the configuration window, you see these four small icons. The third icon here is annotation icon. If you click on it, you can see that you can assign name to the tool and an annotation describing about that tool. So if I enter manual entry here and in the annotation, if I write adding data manually. Now click anywhere on the workflow. Now you can see that the annotation is shown below the tool. And if you hover over the tool, you will see this pop-up window showing the name of this tool, which is manual entry. In this way, when we create a workflow, it becomes easy for anyone viewing this workflow to understand what each step is doing. Now, whenever we enter data into a workflow, it is a good practice that we view the data that is going into the workflow just to check that everything is fine. For this particular step, we are able to see the data that we are entering. However, for several other steps, we may not be able to see the exact data that is going into the workflow through that step. So, as a good practice, it is recommended that after every input step, we should have a browse step. This is a browse step in the in-out category. Drag and drop it. Now notice that I'm holding this step just in front of the previous step, and you can see this dotted line which is suggesting that the output of the previous step is getting connected to the input of the next step. This is a connection between the two tools, and this suggests that the previous tool is sending data to the next step. Drop it here. The browse tool helps us to see the data coming from the previous step. Not only that, the browse tool also shows us some important statistics related to the data coming from the previous step. So let us check out the information in the browse step. To do that, we have to run this workflow. You can see that the workflow ran successfully. Click on OK. Once you have run the workflow and you select the browse step, you will see the result of that. In the result window, you can see the entire data set that is coming out of the text input tool step. Here, there are two tabs. One is data and the other is metadata. Data contains the data that we have entered in the previous step. In the metadata tab, you will see information about all the variables that is present in the previous step. So customer ID is a string type of variable with a size of 8, and the source for this is the text input step, which is the previous step. So this is the information about the data coming from the previous step. On the left hand side, that is the configuration window, you can see more information about all the columns in our data. So here you are seeing a summary about each of the column in the data. So in customer ID, there are two values. In customer name, there are these two values. In country, you can see there is a single value called United States, and it is repeating 2 times. Now, if you want to know more about any particular column, you can just click on the name of that column and you can see more statistical information about the data present in that column. For example, here you can see the maximum value of age, the minimum value of age, the average of these two, the percentile values, sums, variances, etc. You can also notice that here, if there is any empty cell or a null value, even those will be reported in a simple tabular format. So you do not need to add additional steps to see the description of the data. The browse step does that for you once you run the workflow. So now you can see that we have successfully entered data manually into the workflow. In the next video, we will see how to add data into the workflow from a CSV file. Before closing this lecture, just click on Save this workflow from the File menu.